I've been trying to achieve blank my whole life. It must be me because I'm the common denominator. What would I love to create just because I would love it? Not trying to solve a problem, not trying to fix it. What would I just love? You must stop trying to fix your current situation with money. You must choose to be a self-made millionaire because it sounds like a fun thing to do. Dear future self-made millionaire, today is a success secret that no one teaches. And if you're ready for big success, then today is for you. So I'll share the true common denominator in all success and all failure. See, a statement I hear from many people who are struggling is, I've been trying to achieve blank my whole life. Like I've been trying to achieve $1 million or successful business or financial freedom my whole life and I can't, it's hopeless. And then they say these words, it must be me, because I'm the common denominator. And it's true, right? Like their whole life, they've been the common denominator in everything. So it's a bit of a trivial thing to say. It's like, well, it must be me. However, it sells a lot of courses and programs to say, yeah, it's you, to decide that you're the main reason for all your success and all your failure. Now, of course, it can't be any other way. So of course it is you, but also it's not you, because everyone else is also in the same situation, right? Like the majority of people don't have the money that they would like. And so even though, yes, it's you in your situation, it's also everyone else in everyone else's situation, right? And so people tend to think it's them. So they decide to fix them. They get a new business idea, they get a new relationship, they decide to work harder, study more, read another book. They go, there's something I've got to do different. And then they go through this pattern of they have the problem, they go for what they want, they don't get it, they find themselves back in the problem, and then they go for it again. And then they give up. They say, I just wasn't meant to have it. And so this isn't just you. It's not just that person. It's not them being the common denominator, because there's a ton of people having that same situation, right? See, the common denominator is actually the structure of that focus. And so all failure has a focus on what we don't have, on problems, on resolving the current reality. And all success has a focus on the end result. See, those who fail, they think they need to be a certain way, meditate a certain way, work a certain way. They focus on the current reality and how they are. All true success focuses on what they want, irrelevant compared to how they are already. And this is massive, right? The difference between these two structures is huge. People say, well, Chris, isn't it just away from motivated versus towards motivated? No, it's not. It's end result focused versus problem solving. And so the difference is massive. It's the difference between a lifetime of self-sabotage and then momentum and succeeding. Now, quick story. I had this pattern of, here's what's wrong, I'm going to go fix it. Here's what's wrong, here's what's wrong. And all that happened was as soon as I got away from the problem a little bit, then the motivation dissipated to solve the problem. And I find myself, I don't know what I want to do with life. I don't know this, I don't know that. So I'd go back. Now this happened in relationship. This happened in, in my diet as well. It happened in my career. So, when it came to diet, I'd be like, all right, well, I don't like my body shape. So I'm going to go eat a certain way. I'll be real serious. And they'd be like, oh, I hate my life. I'm so serious. I'm this, I'm that. What's wrong with a few drinks here and there? What's wrong with it? And then all the way back to square one, or same when it comes to business or money. Now the structure, you're in based on your first intent. If your first intent was to create something magical and fun, well, then you're in the creative structure. If your first intent was to solve or fix or remove the way something was, you're in the problem structure. And so the original intention is actually the common denominator in all success and all failure. And so if you had the true choice of creating abundance and loving your life and creating joy and creating a body that was healthy, and you were so all in on that, that's what you would create. Yet most people aren't in on creating health. They're trying to get rid of dis-ease or feeling bad. Most people aren't in creating an amazing business. They just don't want to have a job they hate. Most people aren't in creating a life that they love, full of purpose. Most people are just trying to create a comfortable life and void of all negativity. However, that old conditioning just doesn't work. And we know it doesn't work because we look around society and we see people in that problem-oriented structure. We see everything focusing on how it is trying to fix it. We have a war on drugs. We have a war on terrorism. We have a war on peace. We have a war on this gender versus that gender. There's always a problem. There's always a war. Then there's, you need to work hard. You need to hustle. You need to be a certain way. You need to change. You need to be this. You need to be more positive. You need to have good self-esteem. You need to go to therapy. And all that happens is by focusing on what's wrong or what's missing, we just teach our consciousness that we don't have the power to go create what we love. I believe the best form of therapy is creating a life you love. And so to be in the creative structure is to be all in on an end result. And to be all in on an end result means that you're all in on the end result. There are 3 moves to creating. What would I love to create just because I would love it? Not trying to solve a problem, not trying to fix it. What would I just love? Where am I now compared to that? And what action do I need to take to create it? That's it. Everything else is trying to be a certain way, is problem solving everything else. And so the problem solving structure is the common denominator in all failure. The creative structure is the common denominator in all success. Creating it for no other reason than that thing should exist. If you want to create financial abundance, there should be no other reason than you want that to exist. If you want to create, $1 million a month business, no other reason than you want that to exist. No other reason. Yet most people have every other reason. They're not truly in choice. Okay. So if you think about this, whatever you resist will persist, but they'll actually own you. If you close your eyes and try to resist something, like you think, I just don't want that to exist. As much as you resist it, it's still there. See, resistance is futile. It doesn't do anything. As much as you're annoyed that the state of the economy or that AI is coming in and is going to take job, or that the current situation is the way it is, the more that you resist it, it doesn't change it. It is what it is. What we must do is focus on how we want it to be. Because by focusing on how we want it to be, then we know what action to take to turn it that way. This is the most powerful thing that you can learn, is if you close your eyes and focus on how you want it to be. You want to have a life full of abundance. You'll notice that that's possible. If it was on how pissed off and annoyed you are, how it currently is, well, that's how it is, you see? And so if you focus on how you need to be a certain way, all you're doing is focusing on how you need to be different. And it's really bad advice that we've been told. We've been told to problem solve or fix, know what you don't want so you know what you do want. We've been told that we need to be a certain way, and we just get us stuck in a loop. And many people that get stuck in these loops, maybe a loop of ill health, they blame themselves and they think there's something wrong with them. However, you are a consciousness creating. See, you are designed to create health. You must put your focus in the right place, right? And so if we use a fictional story about how people like you and me get stuck in these loops, all well-intended, it happens all the time. So think of a lady, and we'll call her Sarah, all right? So Sarah has a problem. She's tired, she's bloated, she's not sleeping well. So she goes to a really well-meaning naturopath who asks her what the problem is. They decide they need a food allergy test. The test comes back and Sarah's put on a specific diet. Her symptoms improve mildly, but they don't go away. After a while, she's back to where she started. So looking for another solution, she decides to go to an acupuncturist who asks her what her problem is, tests her pulse, decides it's an energetic imbalance, come back weekly for 3 months, and it gets a bit better, but mildly better, but eventually the problem persists. Still frustrated, she goes to a kinesiologist who does tapping as well. And so, they do kinesiology, some tapping. They ask what the problem is. They prescribe a solution, which is an emotional imbalance and blah, blah, blah. Then her symptoms improve. And then she goes to an allopathic doctor who says, hey, you need to get on these drugs. It's actually an autoimmune. You got fibromyalgia. This is what you've got. And so she tries, in between this, she tries diets, fasting, meditation, frequency devices, supplements, exercise, colonics, therapy, you name it, she has done it. By this point, the number of people who have seen the problem and tried to help her escape it is in the hundreds, if not thousands. The more she tries to fix it, the more she gets stuck and stuck and stuck. And this is what I cover in this book, how to get out of that. And so luckily, there's a completely better way, right? And the better way is to actually give up trying to solve the problem and ask, what would I really love? See, Sarah was never in the end result of health. She was always in the problem-solving orientation of escaping the dis-health or dis-ease or illness. And so many of us do this with our money. And so if you're ready to be a self-made millionaire, you must stop trying to fix your current situation with money. You must choose to be a self-made millionaire because it sounds like a fun thing to do. And the only way you'll do this is by becoming completely happy and satisfied without it. Because until you're happy and satisfied right now, until you truly just go, you know what, I can love my life right now, and I'm in the end result of creating health. I'm in the end result of just creating a bunch of money. I'm in the end result because that seems like fun. Until you just realize it's a fun game and you can be happy without it, you're always going to be stuck in the problem reality. If you need more help, make sure you've grabbed at least one, if not both of these books. They will transform your life, and reach out for some coaching. This is that important. Bye for now.